Larry Lawrence, run an operation, Burdekin Laser Services. Have done for the past 18 years. Been heavily involved in earthworks around the Burdekin district. Have travelled away to work throughout Queensland and into northern New South Wales. Yeah, presently running Steiger 525 tractor and a Ford Bagshaw 16-foot bucket scoop with Trimble Field Level 2 3D machine control system.
So what are we working on here, Larry?
This is an OptiSurface design, 1D, on a previously sugarcane block being converted for tree plantation. Our on-screen map displaying the blue areas as fill and green areas on grade, and the reds is the cut process.
Before you started doing OptiSurface stuff, what type of problems were you coming up with that OptiSurface helped with?
Mostly the inability to be able to follow the lay of the land.
What does that result in?
Generally more cut and fill in the equation, and the need to subsoil and strip where there's marginal topsoil.
What's the best applications that you think OptiSurface lends itself to?
Generally in areas of fairly undulating terrain that previously were, the need was to be cut up into smaller blocks and have multiple cross-drain processes through them.
What crops have you used OptiSurface on?
Sugar, bananas, cotton, dryland grain.
To do a traditional multiplane design on that land, what would be the issues you'd run into?
Well, initially it's the time taken in the design process, the limitations of the number of plane sections allowed within a multiplane design.
So it'd be a very complex design to try and get the earthworks down low enough. So you'd have some fields that have, what, 40 sections in them?
I have had, yeah.
40 sections to try and follow the natural topography.
Without incurring too much material shift.
How many hours would you spend doing a 40 section design?
Potentially you could spend a couple of days quite easily.
And what type of earthworks we're talking that you end up in the end?
Generally in the vicinity of sort of 400 to 500 cubic metres per hectare.
What's the most complex design you've done? Would it be like a 40 section job or?
Multiplane?
Yeah.
There have been those that have gone to that degree.
Covering how many hectares?
20 or 30 hectares.
What if you only did 3 sections?
The end result there obviously is massive cut and fill equations happening, which they're not wanting to have to go to that point as far as the earthworks is concerned to get a drainage process in place.
So they wouldn't go ahead with shifting all that soil properly?
No.
And so the earthworks would go up from, say, 500 cubic metres a hectare
well over 1,000
to over 1,000 cubic metres a hectare, with 1 or 2 sections. What's their headache that they're trying to solve?
Well, yeah, they're trying to alleviate water pondage areas, which is then obviously having an effect on yield, crop yield, and not only crop yield but the process of being able to move in and out of rows with various applications.
That block that we talked about previously that was, took you days to design, what would you typically spend now?
You'd probably spend maximum probably 2 hours in a process of getting something basically outlined for them.
That scenario you told us about before with bananas, it might take 500 cubic metres with a very complex multiplane design. What type of result would you get with OptiSurface after a couple of hours work?
You could definitely say that you'd have those numbers back under 200.